Capitalism is an economic ideology that follows the idea of the invisible hand and search for private property. It is characterized by the competition. Democracy is a political system in which people are the opinion and the voice, in which political represents them.
First of all, where's Europe? If we take a normal map, Europe is in the upper center part. In the right is Asia. In the south there's Africa, and in the left is America. It do not collide with Oceania. The early 19th century was one great change in the whole world, especially in Europe. In this time, many revolutions occurred, new medical, scientific, and industrial improvements took place. The main events were the Industrial Revolution, the French Revolution, Napoleonic Empire, and the Congress of Vienna. The Industrial Revolution happened in the late 18th century and early 19th century in Great Britain because they had a lot of resources, such as iron and coal. They had a lot of money funds to invest in foreign countries and factories. Also, due to their location, they had an easy way of transportation. And last but not least, they have had an agricultural revolution that multiplied the food supply, and with that, the population also.
With all these resources, a lot of inventions and innovations took place, such as the railroads, the factories, the steam engine, and the spinning jenny, which made Great Britain the richest nation in the world for the first time, increasing its economy and per capita. Urbanization that came along with this revolution is a change from the country to the cities, and it came due to the massive amount of work. But these jobs had poor conditions, like unsanitary places, kids working since they were 5 years old, working hours were exaggerated, and as a lot of people did not have jobs, if something happened with them, they were easily replaced. Two new social classes were created, such as the proletariat, the pure ones, and the industrial bourgeoisie, the richest ones. The ideas of liberalism and capitalism start spreading through Europe and the rest of the world.
What do you think that it will happen if the Industrial Revolution didn't occur like it's occurred?
Maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation. You wouldn't be using your phone to take this interview. You wouldn't have all the commodities and all the things that make your life easier. Industrial revolution made everything happen so fast, and the way of life we have today is due to the industrial revolution. Maybe even us wouldn't be born because of how society handled itself in a more craftsmanship or a more feudal kind of system. So I think that perhaps that's the most radical change that happened through history, because it changed from being small societies and small cities into something really large and something more complex as we have it today.
The French Revolution. In that time, France was located in the south of UK and was a little bigger than the France we know nowadays. They also have some territories in Africa and America. The main causes of this revolution were that the king and the queen spent a lot of money in luxuries, leaving the rest of the people without money. Also, the religion formed a great part of the decisions, and last has invested money in the USA Revolution, leaving them in bankrupt.
Also, the Enlightenment ideas like division of power, religious tolerance, natural rights, and social contract inspired people to fight off these. injustice they were living. Due to all the causes, the States General was created. It was a general assembly representing the French states of the realm. The clergy, that were the first states, the nobles second state, and the common people third state. Each state had a vote, but everyone else had only one vote and represented the 87% of the people. So as it was not fair, the third state decided to break from the general state and draw up their own constitution. But they found luck out of their regular place meetings, so they gathered and continued to meet until they established a new constitution for France. The oath made was a tennis court oath. So on July 14, 1789, a group of angry and desperate people went to the Bastille, attacked it, and broke it. This gave the start of the French Revolution, creating the start of the French Revolution. As France was a mess, a Committee of Public Safety, Robespierre, unleashed a reign of terror, a 10-month period in which 1,000 revolutionary enemies were guillotined. This ended on his own execution in July 28. His death marked the beginning of the modern phase in which French people revolt against the raging terror excess. The executive power lay in the hands of the new 5-member directory, led by a young and successful Napoleon Bonaparte.
During the French Revolution, Napoleon started rising through the ranks. Then, when he was strong enough, he made a coup d'etat and crowned himself king. And with that, the Napoleonic Empire began. During this period, Napoleon started to conquer the world, more like Europe. He conquered parts like Austria, Spain, and Prussia. And the economy went up. But even though he tried, he was never able to conquer the. He also established the Napoleonic Code. In it, the people were more powered, but it was also a setback for women, though they were treated as property. It also favored the military and also favored slaves. Well, his downfall came with three mistakes: the invasion of Russia, the Peninsular War, and the intercontinental system. The invasion of Russia. He tried to invade Russia during the winter. It was favorable for the Russians, but not for his army. The continental system. France tried to block every economic activity with the UK, but it didn't work because everybody wanted to trade with the UK. The Peninsular War. He conquered Spain and other peninsular countries that led to different revolutions, and then they opposed him. And the combination of these three mistakes led the fall to Napoleon and everything with him.
So, about Napoleon, it's important to mention that his military victories is what achieves him his greatness. The expansion of his empire around Europe talks about, yes, a desire and ambition for power, but it talks moreover about how his military victories were the sustain of his power. He needed to keep doing this so that his power would be consolidated. That was the essence of his empire. So it was, yes, ambition, yes, extending the territory, but it was also a matter of keep, how can I say, legitimizing his power through military victories.
After the fall of Napoleon, the Congress of Vienna was formed. This Congress was made to reconstruct all the countries in a political, economical, and social way because of the mess that Napoleon did.
This was the start of capitalism and liberalism, which we can see in each period. Capitalism, which allowed new generations of people to gain money. The liberalism due to the ideas of liberty and equality. And new changes and efforts that combine both.